I think that's what it is.
All right, good evening and welcome to the September monthly meeting of the Muncie Fire Merit Commission. We'll take the roll call, please.
Kevin Coley,
Here?
Deanna Clemens,
Present.
Andrew Dale,
Present?
Linda Gray,
Present.
Mike Whited,
Here.
Chief Burford,
Present.
Mark Irvin,
Present.
and then myself.
All right, thank you. Well, first order of business, I'd like to add under our item of 2026 promotion process, I'd like to add an eighth item, which is the annual budget. So just like to note that, and if we're good with that, I'll take a motion to add that.
I moved. Second.
Moved and seconded, okay, it was Kiana and then Linda. Thank you. All right, well, first up is our approval of the minutes from our September 14th, 2025 meeting. We've all had those and had a chance to look at them. Is there anybody that would like to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
So moved,
Second.
and it's been seconded. Any questions or comments? Otherwise, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Well, Chief, what you got for us?
Ms. White has attached all the certifications from August and September with your packet, so we're pleased at that. Our recruits are moving along great. They're about 2/3 of the way through their EMT class now, so we're only a few weeks away from getting those 4 remaining recruits onto the floor, working in their shift positions. So we're really looking forward to that. We're ready for that, and they're close. So it's all I really have during this portion, and we have some other things later that we'll talk about with the.
And in our packets of information, I want to thank Samra for getting out the rules and amendments. We got those signed and dated, and those went out to the body. So thank you very much. I want to thank Mike and Linda for all the work on that. It was good to get that done.
Yeah, there's a lot of work.
Yeah. All right. Next order is anything that our attorney might have. Mark Irvin.
No business.
Okay. All right. Well, it is September 11th. It's been 24 years ago since the attacks. And we would like to memorialize and further remember 10 individuals who lived in Indiana who died that day, either on the flight that went down in Pennsylvania, Flight 93, or whether it was the Pentagon attacks, or whether it was the World Trade Center. And what we're going to do is we're simply going to read some names. We'll take our time to do that. We'll list about where these people lived, when they passed away, where they were born in Indiana, and again, when they passed that day, where they were. So I'll start with a woman named Lauren Catuzzi Rancolis and her unborn child at the time. She was born August 31st of 1963, where she passed away on September 11th of 2001. She was born in Bloomington, Indiana, and she lived in San Rafael, California, and she perished in the Flight 93 plane crash. That's for Linda. And you, Kiana.
Karen Sue Juday, February 22nd, 1949 to September 11th, 2001. She was born in Bremen, Indiana, lived in Brooklyn, New York, was at the World Trade Center North Pool, and her employer was Cantor Fitzgerald.
Charles Edward Jones, born November 4th, 1952, and died September 11, 2001. He was born in Clinton, Indiana, and resided in Bedford, Massachusetts. And he was on the Flight 11 passenger.
Patricia Mickley, born October 15th, 1959, and died on September 11th, 2001. Born in Indiana, lived in Springfield, Virginia, and she worked for the Pentagon as Defense Intelligence Agency.
Timothy J. Maud was born November 18th, 1947, and died on September 11th, 2001. Born in Indianapolis, Indiana, lived in Fort Myer, Virginia. He was at the Pentagon, and he was employed by the U.S. Army.
Canfield D. Boone. He was born February 2nd of 1948. He died on September 11th of 2001. He was born in Milan, Indiana, a pretty famous place. He lived in Fairfax, Virginia, and he was in the Pentagon when he passed away, and he was in the U.S. Army.
Gary Lee Bright, January 31st, 1965, died on September 11th, 2001. Gary was born in Muncie, Indiana. He lived in Union City, New Jersey. He was with, the group was the World Trade Center South Pool, and his employer was Aon Corporation Contractor. And Gary was a Muncie Southside High School graduate.
Katie Marie McCloskey, born December 28th, 1975, died September 11, 2001. Born in South Bend, Indiana, and resided in Mount Vernon, New York. And she was in the World Trade Center North Pool, and her employer was Marsh and McClellan Consultants from Direct Fit.
Kathleen Ann Nicosia, born June 26, 1947, and died on September 11, 2001. She was born in South Bend, Indiana, and lived in Winthrop, Massachusetts. She was on Flight 11, part of the Flight 11 flight crew.
And Stacy Lynn Peak, born September 4th, 1965, died on September 11th, 2001. Born in Tell City, Indiana, lived in Manhattan, was in the World Trade Center in the North Pool, and her employer was Cantor Fitzgerald.
And we also want to recognize, and we're very cognizant that there were many firefighters and police officers and other types of public safety individuals who perished that day. We'd like to take just a moment of silence as we recognize this day. Thank you. All right, our next line of business is our 2026 promotions process, and we're going to also talk a little bit about a glimpse into a 26 hiring process as well. So we have been working with a testing company that we have worked with for a number of years, and as far as the promotions process, soon Ms. Riley will be sending out information. It will most likely state, and we're ahead of it this year, so you'll know before you turn in time for vacation and such for next year. You're going to know this year when this process is, but I'm going to talk in just some general dates. But we're looking at about mid-October for the process for sign-up to be addressed, meaning you'll know before, well before around the 20th of October, but that day will be most likely the cutoff for signing up to be involved in the promotion process. From there, we're looking at, and again, we're talking general timeframes right now, we're looking at everywhere from the beginning of February through maybe the first or second week of March to conclude the entire promotion process. That would include written examination, oral interviews, and such. So we want to give you a good heads up on the process. Chief, is there anything to add on that front, on the promotions side of things?
Yeah, we are currently, we're looking at making a few changes to the reference material that will be used for the tests.
Okay.
And we're looking at trying to get that finalized as well. We obviously will have that information picked and prepared by the end of the sign-up, so people will know and we'll have the books available to them as well as required. And then there's talk about, we're in the process right now of redoing all the standard operating procedures. We have committee working right now, and so I talked with IPSP. They could, as long as our new SOPs are finished by early December, they would be able to incorporate that into the testing procedure. But we want to make sure that, and we should, hopefully I can report back next month on that after we have another meeting of that committee. But we are getting relatively close to finalizing those and getting those out, hopefully.
Okay,
So
okay.
that would be the only thing that may change, would be whether we incorporate the old SOPs, or there's a potential that they suggested was we could develop some of our own questions based off the new SOPs and actually give that as a supplement test somehow,
Okay.
you know, as long as the union agreed with it when that happened as well, and the commission, obviously.
Okay. Any questions from the commission on what we're discussing so far? And then on the hiring process, we need to look at hiring again.
We do.
Yeah.
Last, 2 years ago, we took applications from October 31st through December 31st. And then that gave us time to begin doing our CPAT and our ladder climb in January, February months. Then we scheduled the testing, the interviews, and got through. So I would actually like to ask the commission if we can open for applications beginning October 1st this year, which would be before the next meeting, and leave that application process open through December 31st. And then we can start scheduling our CPATs and our ladder climbs and stuff moving forward from there.
Okay. Any questions from the commission?
No.
How many are,
No.
I'm sorry,
No, go ahead, please.
how many are we looking to hire?
Well, that just depends on variables, people leaving. We were told today we have several members of our department who have applied for a department in southern Madison County that we've already lost 7 people to. And they are getting ready to put on 30 new employees January 1st. So we don't really know. Obviously, we'll keep the list open through the 2 years. The idea would be when the 2-year time came up, we had a list ready to certify effective that date. So as people leave, and depending on what we have, and there's a SAFER grant that the city's applied for also. So it's really hard to say. We never dreamed in all reality we would get as far on this list as we have, but
Right.
we've had a lot of people who have opted to transfer to other departments in the last couple of years. You know, this last process, we lowered the age, and we got a lot of people that came to Muncie because they were too young to apply for these other departments. Well, once they're in the pension fund, the other departments are accepting them as laterals. So some of them came here knowing that their plan was to use this as a stepping stone, if you will, which is discouraging in some ways. But, you know, we did receive a lot more applicants from the Muncie community and Delaware County when we changed the physical requirements. Ms. White has worked, and she's gotten some promotion materials that have a QR code on them that we're going to pass out during the homecoming parade, and some other things, and hopefully get some of the word out where they can scan a QR code that'll link them to the application. And we're going to try to, you know, spend some of our community promotions money to help promote the fire department locally. Try to get out and get more local applicants. If we can get the local people to come to the department, they're definitely more apt to stay when they're invested in this community before they become a employee of the city of Muncie.
Mr. Irvin, is there anything that we need to do to take official action? Or are we good with just moving forward with especially the hiring process?
You know, I think you could just have a motion,
Okay,
and a second discussion, and a vote for the record.
okay.
I don't know that that would be required, but it would put it on the record.
Can we do that for both promotions and hiring, and do it in one motion? Okay. Is someone comfortable with making that motion?
I'll make it.
Okay.
Make a motion to open the hiring process and the promotional process.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved in second. Any questions? Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, that's good stuff. We're moving. We're cooking. All right. All right. I did want to share a couple things. One is our annual budget did go in. It was a little, about 34,000 and change. It's been introduced to council. I presume that we'll be fine. It's consistent with last year's budget. and it covers just about everything that we need, including our meetings, because there is a cost to having them videoed. And then I also wanted just to add that next month, we anticipate honoring Denise Moore by bestowing her annual leadership award to an individual in the department. So just wanted to give a heads up. It's always a very special time for the meeting, and we'll make sure there's an announcement made of that ahead of time. So, is there anything that anybody wants to bring before the commission, or that the commission wants to bring before the commission? Well, in that case, we'll take a motion for adjournment.
So move.
So moved,
Second.
and second, all those in favor say aye.
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 We're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.